Good morning, students. Today we will study about to find the limit of the function by using sandwich theorem. So let's start. Okay. Now we can see from this graph, we are given the graph of three functions like hx, gx as well as fx, and you see fx is less than gx than less than hx also, and we are taking any interval say from alpha to beta, but a lying in between alpha to beta. As we are given like this function here also, if fx equal and less than gx equal and less than hx for all x belongs to alpha beta excepting x is equal to a, and limit x approaches to a of fx is equal to limit x approaches to a of hx is equal to L, then the limit of this middle function always must be same as the limit of this fx as well as hx. This is your sandwich theorem. Again listen, if fx equal and less than gx and gx equal and less than hx for all x, if we are taking the limit at any point lying in between say alpha to beta open interval, then you can see the limit of this function fx is same as the limit of this function hx. Then it is understood by using the sandwich theorem, the limit of this gx function will also be same. Is it clear? And this is called your sandwich theorem. So let me consider some example on the basis of sandwich theorem also. First of all, I am taking very simple example. Now he says evaluate. First I am taking your subjective question. Evaluate limit x approaches to infinite x plus 7 sin x divided by minus 2x plus 13 by using sandwich theorem. First of all, we know that sin x is always equal and greater than minus 1, but equal and less than plus 1. If we multiply with 7, minus 7 equal and less than 7 times sin x equal and less than 7 also. If we are adding x, let me add x in all the terms. You may write minus 7 plus x equal and less than x plus 7 times sin x equal and less than 7 plus x. Clear beta? Let me divide by this denominator in each of the term also. So you may write x minus 7 divided by minus 2x plus 13, which is also equal and less than x plus 7 sin x whole divided by minus 2x plus 13, again equal and less than x plus 7 divided by minus 2x plus 13. Any doubt till this step you can ask. Now you can see, and we are taking we have to consider the limit of this function like x approaches to infinite. So let me consider the limit of these all. We may write limit x approaches to infinite x minus 7 divided by minus 2x plus 13 equal and less than, again limit x approaches to infinite x plus 7 times sin x minus 2x plus 13 equal and less than limit x approaches to infinite x plus 7 divided by minus 2x plus 13. Now we will check the limit of their extreme, means limit of the left hand side as well as top of the right side, and we will see the limit of these both will be same. Then you can say the limit of the middle term will also be the same. So let me take the left hand side, limit x approaches to infinite, x minus 7 divided by minus 2x plus 13. So taking first of all x common from numerator as well as from denominator, you may write 1 minus 7 by x, again taking x common, minus 2 plus 13 by x cancelled with this. When we are substituting the limit, 7 by x approaches to 0 as well as 13 by x also approaches to 0, then your result should be minus 1 by 2. Similarly, if we consider the right hand side, then you can say limit x approaches to infinite, x plus 7 minus 2x plus 13. Again taking x common from numerator as well as from denominator, we can write, taking x common, 1 plus 7 by x, again x common, minus 2 plus 13 by x, again x cancel with this x. Again if we substitute the limit, 7 by x as well as 13 by x approaches to 0, then again its result should be minus 1 by 2. And you see that the limit of this part as well as this part are same, then by using the Sandwich theorem, the limit of the middle part should also be the same. Therefore we may write limit x approaches to infinite, x plus 7 times sin x divided by minus 2x plus 13, and that should be minus 1 by 2 also. Any doubt, beta? So this was very simple question. I am taking one more on the basis of your Sandwich theorem, but I will take the question on the basis of your greatest integer function. And this question is very important, and this question has already asked in your CBSE, already asked in yours, not in CBSE, but that is also asked in yours JEE main examination also. So we can write limit n approaches to infinite, then x plus 2x greatest integer, and going in this way, n time x of this greatest integer and whole divided by n square. Now options are A. Now this will be equal to, you may write this is equal to, options are x by 2, B is 3x, C is x square by 2, and D is none of this. So it is very important question, and this type of question many times asked in your JEE main examination. And first of all, we must be clear the meaning of your greatest integer function. You know that if we are given the greatest integer function like this, it is always equal and less than x or greater than x minus 1. So we must use this concept in this question also. So let me take the last term first. In numerator you are given, it is nx, greatest integer function, and you may write it is equal and less than nx, but it is greater than nx minus 1. But now we are given the summation. If we are using the summation, then instead of n, we can use other term also. Let me suppose we can use rx greatest integer and summation r varies from 1 to n, equal and less than, it is rx, and now again r varies from 1 to n, and now you may write this is greater than rx minus 1, where summation r varies from 1 to n. If we substitute the value of r, then you will see you are getting this numerator. But in denominator we are given n square. So first of all, we must divide this by n square also in all the terms. You may write it is n square also. Any doubt, beta? And in the next part, you are given their limits also. Okay. So let me consider now its limit also, and then we will simplify the limit of any one of the extreme part, and you will get that will be the limit of its middle part also. Because if we check the limit of its extreme part, you will see the limit of both the part will be same. So let me take the limit also. Limit n approaches to infinite. Now sigma r varies from 1 to n of Rx minus 1. Again, and dividing this by n square. Now this is less than limit n approaches to infinite. Now sigma r varies from 1 to n of this Rn, and again divided by n square, which is equal and less than limit n approaches to infinite. Then sigma r varies from 1 to n r x, and divided by it is n square. We are given like this. Let me take the limit of this left part only. I am taking the limit of this part. Then limit n approaches to infinite. Let me expand it. You may write x into sigma r varies from 1 to n of this r minus sigma r varies from 1 to n of this 1, and whole divided by n square. First we are taking the limit of this part only. देखिए बेटा, बाई सैंडविच थ्योरम अगर इस लेफ्ट साइड और राइट साइड के लिमिट सेम आ जाती है तो आप अकॉर्डिंग टू सैंडविच थ्योरम क्या बोलेंगे, द मिडिल पार्ट की भी वही लिमिट आने वाली है. तो मुझे दोनों पार्ट के लिमिट लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं इसके लेफ्ट साइड के ले रहा हूँ, एंड जो भी लिमिट आएगी दैट विल बी द लिमिट ऑफ इट्स मिडिल पार्ट. तो सबसे बड़ी बात, इसके लिमिट निकालने से पहले यू मस्ट रिमेंबर नाउ हेयर व्हेन आर वेरीज फ्रॉम 1 टू n, it will be the sum of n natural number. So you may write it is x, this is x not n, it is n into n plus 1 by 2 and divided by n square minus, now here if we are taking r from 1 to n, it means 1 will be added up to n times, and you may write it is simple n and divided by this n square also. This n cancel with this n, and this n also cancel with this n. So limit n approaches to infinite, it is x, taking n outside, 1 plus 1 by n divided by 2n minus 1 by n, and you can see this n also cancel with this n. If we substitute the limit, then 1 by n approaches to 0. Okay, then what should be the answer? It should be x by 2. Again this part is 0, this part is also 0. So what should be the limit? Limit must be x by 2. It means the limit of this middle part will also be yours x by 2. Any doubt, beta? So what should be the option? Now its option is A. Is it clear? Okay, beta. So again this was very important question. I am taking one more question. If instead of, again I will take one more question on the basis of the same greatest integer function, but instead of simple multiplication of the numbers, now here are given as the multiplication of their squares. Like limit, again n approaches to infinite, 1 square x plus 2 square x plus 3 square x, and going in this way up to n square x. Now in denominator we are given n cube. Now options are x by 2, x by 3, x by 6, and D it is 0. Now again we have the same type of question. I will take direct instat to explain the inequalities. So first of all, if we are taking this, you may write it is sigma, it is r square x greatest integer function when r varies from 1 to n divided by n cube. It is always equal and less than. Again sigma r varies from 1 to n. Now it is r square x, as earlier we have taken in case of simple when we are given the multiplication of natural number with the x. And this is equal to sigma then r square x minus 1. Again r varies from 1 to n. And dividing by n cube, and here also dividing by n cube. So we may write in this type of inequality form just when we are considering the Sandwich theorem. So now we have to proceed the limit. If we are proceeding the limit n approaches to infinite, sigma r varies from 1 to n, r square x minus 1 divided by n cube, which is less than sigma r varies from 1 to n, greatest integer of r square x divided by n cube, and limit is again n approaches to infinite. Now here equal and less than, limit n approaches to infinite, sigma r varies from 1 to n, then r square x divided by n cube. We are given like this. Any doubt, beta? So in the previous question already we have taken the limit of this left part. Now in this case we will take the limit of this right part. Okay, तो आपको ये ध्यान में आ जाएगा कि प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में भी हम राइट साइड के लिमिट ले सकते थे, इसलिए मैं इस केस में लिमिट राइट साइड की लेने वाला हूँ. तो इसको ध्यान से करिए बेटा, बिकॉज दिस इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर्स greatest integer function also. So evaluate the right limit of the right part very carefully. Now we are given like this right part, limit n approaches to infinite, sigma r varies from 1 to n, r square x divided by n cube. We are given like this. Okay, so first of all, only in variable form we are given r square. So let me take first of all x common, means out of this sigma sign. You may write x. Let me consider r as 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. Then you may get it is 1 square, 2 square up to n square divided by n cube. So in the numerator we are given sum of squares of n natural number, and which is given as limit n approaches to infinite. This is x. It is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Here is n cube. 1n cancel with this 1n. Taking n common from this as well as in the last part, n को कॉमन ले लीजिएगा बेटा दोनों में से. तो x n square 1 plus 1 by n 2 plus 1 by n n divided by 6 n square, और n square से भी cancel. Now n approaches to infinite, then 1 by n you can see that will approaches to 0. Then what should be the limit? X from here 1, from here 2, here is 6. Now you can say it should be x by 3. So naturally you can see you can verify the limit of this left part will also be yours x by 3, or you can say the limit of this middle part that will becomes also x by 3. So which option is correct? You can see out of the option, the option B is correct. Any doubt beta? So I will take one more question. Again that question is very important, and that question also already has asked in your JEE main examination, and the question on the basis of this sometime can ask in your advanced examination also. Many times this type of question has already asked in your JEE advanced. So I am taking one more question. ये क्वेश्चन आपका एडवांस में भी आ चुका है, इसलिए इसको थोड़े ध्यान से देख लीजिएगा बच्चों. Yes. Now he says the limit n approaches to infinite, 1 by 1 plus n square, 2 by 2 plus n square, and going in this way, n by n plus n square. We have to evaluate the limit of this function, and he says also verify this is equal to option A, it is 1 by 3, option B, it is 1 by 2, option C, it is 1 by 4, option D, none of this. So this is very important question also. Okay, let me give the name to this whole relation. मैं इस relation को एक नाम दे देता हूँ. Let us suppose this is Pn, and which is given as 1 by 1 plus n square, 2 by 2 plus n square, 3 by 3 plus n square, and n by n plus n square. मैंने इस पूरे रिलेशन को एक नेम दे दिया बेटा, that is Pn. Is it clear? अगर बेटा हम डिनोमिनेटर में इस 2, 3, 4 अप टू n सभी की जगह 1 रख देते हैं, तो नेचुरली जो डिनोमिनेटर अगर कम है तो उसकी रेशियो ऑलवेज ग्रेटर होती है. इसका मतलब क्या है? नाउ दिस Pn यू मे राइट इट विल बी ग्रेटर देन 1 बाय 1 प्लस n स्क्वायर, 2 बाय 1 प्लस n स्क्वायर, 3 बाय 1 प्लस n स्क्वायर, एंड गोइंग इन दिस वे n by 1 plus n square. Or you may write Pn is greater than, let me take the LCM, it is 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n. Or Pn is greater than, in the numerator we are given the sum of n natural numbers, or you may write it is n into n plus 1 by 2 into 1 divided by 1 plus n square. Any doubt beta? Having any doubt you may ask. अब जब भी हम फ्रैक्शनल फॉर्म में कोई भी क्वांटिटी गिवन है, अगर डिनोमिनेटर में हम इंक्रीज करते हैं तो उसकी वैल्यू डाउन हो जाती है, डिनोमिनेटर में डिक्रीज करेंगे तो उसकी वैल्यू इंक्रीज होनी शुरू हो जाती है. तो अगर हम Pn की बात करें, now instead of 1, 2, 3 let me take n, मैं इसकी वैल्यू इंक्रीज करने वाला हूं, तो नेचुरली इसकी वैल्यू जो है इससे लेस आने वाली है. नाउ इफ वी आर टेकिंग लाइक दिस, बेटा थोड़ा सा इसको ठीक कर लेंगे क्योंकि डिनोमिनेटर हमने क्या किया था, डिक्रीज, तो नेचुरली ये Pn की वैल्यू इससे लेस आने वाली है. यस. सिमिलरली अगर हम Pn की वैल्यू ये लिखना चाहें कि इट इज 1 बाई n प्लस एन स्क्वायर, 2 बाई n प्लस एन स्क्वायर, 3 बाई n प्लस एन स्क्वायर, एंड गोइंग इन दिस वे n बाई n प्लस एन स्क्वायर. अब डिनोमिनेटर में आपने इंक्रीज किया है, तो इसका मतलब Pn की वैल्यू क्या होने वाली है, अब इससे ऑलवेज ग्रेटर होने वाली है. तो यू मे राइट नाउ Pn शुड बी ग्रेटर देन दिस. देखिए यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना है, जब डिनोमिनेटर में हम वैल्यू डिक्रीज कर रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब उसकी वैल्यू इंक्रीज होने वाली है. इसका मतलब ये जो वैल्यू आने वाली है इस कंप्लीट वैल्यू से ग्रेटर आने वाली है, यानी कि Pn इससे लेस आने वाला है. बट अब हमने क्या किया है, डिनोमिनेटर में इस 1 2 3 की जगह मैंने n रख दिया है। इसका मतलब डिनोमिनेटर को आपने इंक्रीज किया है, तो ये जो Pn वाली वैल्यू आने वाली है उस वैल्यू से ऑलवेज ग्रेटर आने वाली है। तो व्हाट इज Pn हियर, इट इज ग्रेटर देन, अगेन टेकिंग द एलसीएम, n plus n square, 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n, or you may write it is n into n plus 1 by 2 into n plus n square। ये आ रहा आपके पास। आप चाहे तो यहाँ से n को कॉमन लेके डिलीट भी कर सकते हैं। तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, यहाँ से यू मे टेक n कॉमन फ्रॉम डिनोमिनेटर, इट इज 1 plus n and n cancel with this n also। Or you can say 1 plus n will also cancel with this 1 plus n, or Pn should be greater than 1 by 2. Any doubt beta? Yes. Now you can see, you may write by using the sandwich theorem. What about Pn? Now Pn is greater than 1 by 2 but less than this value, that is n into n plus 1 divided by 2 times 1 plus n square. It is like this. But now we have to proceed the limit of this. इसके लिमिट क्या चाहिए, n approaches to infinite, तो लिमिट ले लेते हैं। You may write proceeding limit n approaches to infinite, तो limit n approaches to infinite of 1 by 2 less than limit n approaches to infinite of Pn, and which is less than limit n approaches to infinite n into n plus 1 divided by 2 times 1 plus n square। अगर लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से बात करें तो 1 by 2 यहाँ से आ ही रहा है। चलो मैं दोनों साइड से वेरीफाई कर लेते हैं। ऑफ 1 by 2 यू कैन से इट इज 1 by 2। अगर मैं राइट हैंड साइड की बात करता हूँ तो लिमिट n अप्रोचेस टू इनफाइनाइट, अब यहाँ से n कॉमन ले लेंगे तो n स्क्वायर 1 plus 1 by n, नीचे से भी बेटा लेट मी टेक n स्क्वायर कॉमन, तो 1 plus 1 by n स्क्वायर से n स्क्वायर कैंसिल। व्हेन n अप्रोचेस टू इनफाइनाइट then 1 by n as well as 1 by n square both approaches to 0, so you can say now its limit should be 1 by 2. So what is the what is the limit of this whole relation? That must be equal to 1 by 2, and that option will be yours, 1 by 2. So it means I'm just giving the recapitulation. Now in case of sandwich theorem, if we are given the three function like fx, gx, hx, fx is equal and less than gx, equal and less than hx, if we are taking limit of these three and limit of the left as well as right part are same, it means the limit of the middle part will also be same. So that is called your sandwich theorem. So today we have taken very important question of your sandwich theorem, and I hope these all would be very much clear. Okay beta, so for the next video, for the next lecture, so